Good evening. I have to make an adjustment to this video from, if you saw it earlier, you'll notice that it's been changed. A student pointed out the fact that I'd actually made a mistake here, so I better redo this. So let's look at recursive formulas and then explicit formulas and then being able to work back and forth between those two. Within this function here, this a sub n equals 1/5 times a sub n minus 1, they are giving us this recursive formula. Our job is to take that then and write it into its explicit form. So we are given that our R value is not 1/2, like I said in the previous video, but indeed it is 1/5. And so since we know that our R value, our common ratio there being 1/5, we can use that in conjunction with now this first term to be able to write our explicit form of this sequence. So we're going to go a sub n is equal to our first term times 1/5 to the n minus 1. That's it. That's all there is to it. We would use that then in its explicit form to be able to generate our sequence. Pardon my dogs there. Okay, and so now we're given an explicit form, and our job now is to write it in its recursive form. I'm hoping that this one was correct in the previous video, but we'll just plow ahead here. We know then by this form that the a value and our b value are representing our initial amount, or our a1. So the a1 there would be that 2/3. So our first term's 2/3. And then our common ratio, our r value, is 7. And so to write the recursive form of this, we're going to say a sub n is equal to that common ratio of 7 times a sub n minus 1, the previous term. And then we're going to then state then that we find that from having that a1 is 2/3. That is given that all values for n have to be greater than or equal to 2. So that represents then our recursive formula for that explicit for 2/3 times 7 to the n minus 1. Hopefully that clears things up. Thanks, guys. And I will update that into Canvas. Thank you.